I'm Jesse, behind the camera is James, and we are Roamin in Riverside, and today we're in the Mount Rubidoux area of Riverside, California. We are at Bonamino Park.
Yeah, or Mesquite Park, or whichever.
And it's a beautiful sunny day out here in Southern California, guys, and I got the pleasure of talking to Michael. Michael, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, like your age and where you're from.
Well, my name's Michael. I'm 50 years old. They call me Wizard. One of the reasons they call me Wizard is I've lived in 11 states for at least a year, mostly for work. Okay. I've been all over the country. I've been on both coasts for most of my life, but I've lived in Mississippi, Louisiana, Pennsylvania, Colorado, Wyoming, Arizona, Nevada.
Wow. Any family?
Yes, family spread out too. I got mom in California. My mom is in Colorado, brother and sister in Arizona, another brother and sister in Texas, dad's in Tennessee.
About married and kids?
I'm working on that.
Okay.
My girl's laying in bed right now at my place.
Okay.
I like to build things, so I built kind of like a 2-bedroom apartment, or well, 1-bedroom apartment in the trees in the river bottom. It's covered by ivy. It's cool all day.
Really?
Yeah, wow, about 20 degrees cooler than it is here. Yeah, I don't mind taking you. I don't mind checking you guys over there to check it out.
Okay, maybe one interview we got to keep in touch with you, Mike. I'd like to check that out.
Okay.
So you don't?
It's right up the street.
So you don't consider that homeless at all, huh?
Well, I don't want to consider it homeless. They say that what I'm doing is called camping, but I'm not doing anything recreational. I'm trying to survive.
Yeah.
Part of that has to do with not relying on food stamps or anything that has to do with the government, really. I haven't paid taxes in a number of years, but I haven't worked in a number of years either. The closest I've come to needing aid has been medically. Lost my finger.
Ouch. Tell us about that.
Well, I was bitten by a brown recluse. I had a bunch of other bites from different spiders.
And that's
but this one turned into staph, and it came all the way up my arm. What's funny about that is that's when 4 people decided to attack me the day I was going into the hospital. 3 machetes and a hatchet over telling a girl, "Don't come back to my place."
Really?
Well, she ripped off somebody at my place, and I'm not somebody that puts up with people that are thieves or liars.
And it's pretty rough down there, huh? These guys are packed with machetes.
It gets worse every day.
Really?
Trust me.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes that people don't know about, not just from homeless to homeless, but from homeless, and people with homes that come down here and think, oh, well, they're homeless, who's going to care?
Yeah.
They're not going to prosecute, or
they have issues. What do you do for resources there, Michael?
Well, there's a number of churches and other food banks and stuff like that in town.
Okay.
But one of the reasons they call me Wizard is that I live by my skill. I'm not cheap labor. I'm skilled labor.
Right on.
I'm a certified welder unlimited, a certified welding inspector for pipeline, Class A driver, doubles, triples, tankers, commercial defensive driving, air brake certification, journeyman plumber. The last time I was on a plumbing job, there was 485 plumbers, and I was a lineman plumber with 10 plumbers and 10 laborers under me.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned, as per my grandfather, learn something that you want to do well enough to be able to teach it to others, or what's the point in learning it in the first place?
Yeah.
So everything I've done, I've completed.
When was the last time you were working, Michael?
The last time I was working was in, not New York, I was in Pennsylvania. I was working for the pipeline. I was 285 pounds. I was sitting in a 2-bedroom apartment with all my own stuff. And I was 285 pounds playing video games. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Predator clan, but on Xbox, I was one of the top 5 clans in the U.S. for Black Ops anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, came in 3rd place in Black Ops World Series, the first Black Ops World Series.
Mm-hmm.
I decided I was unhappy, and I've been sober for 7 years.
Right on.
And I was alone. I had a $3,000 California pillow top mattress that I'd never even had sex on. $3,000 for that thing.
And then rent and all that got really expensive.
Oh, no, it didn't get expensive or nothing. Okay. That's what I'm saying. It's like I was unhappy. I was successful, but I wasn't happy. And I decided I was going to try something different. So I wanted to learn about marijuana, growing, cultivation, the whole bit. And I did. I learned how to make wax. I learned how to make concentrates. I learned how to cultivate. The first legal grow in Oregon, we produced 300 plants that were between 16 and 18 pounds yield per plant. I don't know if you guys understand how big that is, but we were putting in shade screens to do light depth, and they outgrew them before August.
Why'd you leave that industry?
Actually, I was on a rescue.
Okay.
I was living on a 40 acres that we were developing, and some friends of mine came to me, and Grace told me that her 2-year-old daughter had been kidnapped by the father, who she had sole custody and a restraining order against him because he choked her out. And he's Cuban, and she was Italian. Anyways, he kidnapped his daughter and went to Florida.
Okay.
Well, they asked me to help them get her back, so I left everything back in Oregon and then helped them get all the way across the country to Florida. And once we followed him to Florida, using my contacts, we found out that he'd moved up to New Jersey. And instead of like listening to me and following, my lead, and going with them up to New Jersey, they decided they wanted to go to some outlaws in Kentucky, to a biker gang. And I said, well, I'm not going to be part of that. They might kill him. They might find him and kill him. And I'm trying to help you get your daughter back. And I personally believed that they should have went to the U.S. Marshals, which they ended up doing 2 years later and getting her daughter back.
Oh, okay. So they got her back.
They did get her back, yes.
Okay.
But in that time when they dropped me off in Florida, it took me about 6 months to get from Florida back to California. And when I got here, I came through Riverside. And my first day, I met people that literally kept me staying here. Like it wasn't really necessarily a need. It was something that I wanted to do.
Okay.
And I've been following, like, maybe not necessarily my own personal direction, but I feel like there's a certain need for me here that I don't get anywhere else. And it's funny too, because there's a lot of people that don't like me.
Really? It's comfortable out here. You seem like a likable guy, Wizard. So tell me, what's a regular day like for you out here, Wizard? I saw you riding your bicycle. And
I was riding up because I was going to cook breakfast for Sweet Deals. That juice cart right there.
Okay.
They employ me.
Take a look at our juice cart.
Yes.
Oh, they employ you?
They employ me.
Okay,
yeah.
Great.
His aunt actually rode up one day when I was camped at the end of the street because I was trying to make it easy for my girlfriend to find me.
Okay.
And she's peculiar. Anyways, his aunt rolled by and she said, "Do you need a job?" And this is right after I went, "Lord, I need a job. I need to do something to take care of this girl."
Yeah.
And this woman comes up and goes, "Do you need work?" And I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." And she goes, "Well, come on down. We'll talk." And I've been working for him ever since.
All right. What time do you start? I don't want to.
Well, that's why I came rolling through, as I was about to start.
Oh, okay.
And,
all right. I mean, we don't want to hold you up.
No, you guys are good. You're good. It's not like it's a demanding job.
Well,
all I do is take out the garbage and stuff.
I would really like to go visit your little place down the street.
We can do that.
Okay, maybe tomorrow we can.
You can do that now if you guys want. If you guys have the time, I don't mind taking you down there. It's not like I'm super busy. I just go tell them that's what we're doing. I was just going to make breakfast.
Yeah, we'll probably do that tomorrow.
Okay.
We're running and we kind of just keep this thing flowing, but
that's fine with me. And there's
I'd love to meet up with you tomorrow morning and check out your place and show our viewers a little bit about Wizard's place.
Okay.
But anyway, Wizard,
I'll even clean it up and make it look a lot better.
Okay.
Well,
what kind of stuff do you see at night, man? There's a lot of stuff. You're close to Mount Rubidoux. I've heard of bobcats. I've heard of
Yes, it's different. I've seen animals. I've seen wild animals and stuff like that. I was sitting down here when the attempted rapist came rolling down after the woman came running down to jump in her car and ran after the police who had just left. Like the police did their roll through. We were commenting on that. And then a woman comes running down going, "Oh, wait." Hops in her car, drives after him. And then the guy named Mace comes rolling down here and he goes, "How do you stop Mace?" And I'm like, "Milk." I didn't know at the time that's what happened.
She maced him?
Yeah, she maced him. And then like 5 minutes after he leaves, police show up. Now they keep showing pictures of somebody who looks like a Mexican, but he's a white boy. He's a crazy white boy. I've known him for years. And with some of predilections and stuff like that I've seen him do, it bothers me now because like stuff I thought he was harmless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it gets worse out here every day. You know. And
so did they apprehend the guy?
No, they don't think it's him.
Oh.
And I keep trying to run him off because I don't want him near my place. I don't want him near the women I like. Anybody. This guy's a freaking weirdo. And
Does he live down there in the river bottom too?
Yes. And he at one point on the back of Mount Rubidoux, he had this little cave cut out of the bushes back there with his tent hidden away. And he'd put out stuff like purses and jewelry and stuff like that. At first I was really mad when I first saw the stuff, and then I found out it was him. I was like, oh, he's harmless. Now here it is a couple of years later, and he comes down the mountain after a woman just maced him, claiming that he was trying to rape her. And the reason that he stopped is because she not only maced him, she had a taser with her. So that's why he stopped. And when I was chasing him, trying to run him off, he said, how did I know that? How did I know she had a taser? I was like, because she came back the next day and asked me to catch you.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, at one point he ran to the police asking for help because he thought I was going to beat him to death. And I want him to think that too. I'm under a vow not to actually use violence. But it can be implied, you know what I mean? And if somebody tries to hurt me, well,
what about coyotes and raccoons?
They're a nuisance to be sure, but coyotes not really. Coyotes avoid humans at all costs.
Yeah.
The only time they'd come up is if they found, like a very small child or a small dog or something like that,
okay.
And the person is older and infirm that has them. Then a coyote might run up and snatch and run away.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, they're going to stay away from humans big time. And raccoons, that's a different story. Raccoons will gang up on you. Well, maybe not me or you know what I mean, because we're tall. But like my friend Shorty, she's 60-something, and she's like, 4'11".
Yeah.
Well, one night in her tent, friggin', she hears this, and she looks up, and there's a 3-foot tall, big old male raccoon standing there with like 7 or 8 other raccoons behind him. And they were like ganging up on her. She's like, oh, whatever, I've seen this before. And she maces them all, right? Gets her a little bit to herself. And I come over, because she calls me, she's like, you need to come over here. I'm like, all right. So I come over there, and by the time I get there, her tent's like this tall, but it was completely covered all the way around with garbage, like from here down, like just garbage.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? And I look up and I see these raccoons in all the trees throwing stuff down at her. Grabbing garbage and pine cones and all kinds of stuff, and they're throwing it down at her tent. They're burying it.
So never a dull moment out here.
Oh, no. It's I don't know about a dull moment. It's not boring.
It's not boring.
It's not boring.
All right.
And
so you got a lot of friends out here.
I don't want to say I got a lot of friends, no. I have a lot of acquaintances, and I have more enemies than friends, I can tell you that. And
But
that's
you're
just
not
because
lonely. You're not lonely out here.
no.
Good, because we're not geared to be alone. And I saw you by yourself and wanted to just come by and say hi. And,
Well, I appreciate that.
it's a pleasure meeting you.
It is a pleasure meeting you.
And at the end of our interviews, Michael, I always say, can I say a little prayer for you?
Well, I appreciate that. I do.
Dear Father in heaven, dear Lord, I got Michael here. He's a great man, Father, and he's out here by choice, Father, so I say protect him, Father. Protect him from anything, anybody, any guys with machetes coming at him at night, Father. Any raccoons or anything that invades his property, Father. I say you protect this man, Father. And Father, he's a good man, Lord. I pray that you keep his job here that he has here at the bottom of the mountain, Father. And I pray that you drop some abundance in this man's path, Father. Some finances, Father. And give him that choice, Father. If he wants to get off the streets, Father, give him that option, Lord. He's a good man, Father. And I pray blessings upon this man. Take care of him health-wise, Father. I pray all this in your son Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, buddy.
Can I have a hug?
Yes, sir.
All right, Michael.
I appreciate it. I really do.
Hey, good meeting you, man.
It is good meeting you.
I'm Jesse. Behind the camera is James. We're here with Wizard, and we're in downtown Riverside. We are Roamin in Riverside, and we are out.